maybe we should throw in the towel and support amnesty. But a different kind of amnesty. What do you say we start a movement supporting amnesty in Mexico for all the illegal immigrants that pour into Mexico from south of Mexico? I say that the Mexican government, the corrupt, good-for-nothing government in Mexico, that's right, I think that government should give blanket amnesty to all the illegal immigrants in its own country, because after all, they're all brother and sister Latinos. What's wrong with that? Why don't we erase the Mexican border? Why should Mexico celebrate its sovereignty? Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I think the Mexican government should prohibit Mexican children in Mexican schools from wearing the Mexican flag or bringing the Mexican flag into the classroom if it will offend any of its immigrants. What do you think of that, Mr. Producer? I think every single illegal immigrant who comes into Mexico should be on the pathway to citizenship. I think they should be given temporary legal status. I think they should have access to the entire Mexicano welfare state, pension plans, medical plans, the whole kit and caboodle, whatever the hell that is. Yes, I do. What do you say, Mr. Gutierrez? What do you say, Mr. Ramos? What do you say, Mr. Obama? Yes, I think so. Do you join me, ladies and gentlemen? Not only that, I believe American foreign policy. Yeah, what's the difference? American foreign policy, our embassy and our consuls should be in the business of promoting illegal immigration, promoting legalization of illegal immigrants in Mexico, of promoting citizenship in Mexico. And to quote Mr. Nobody, Luis Gutierrez, prepare the people there to protect themselves. Yes, they should be able to protect themselves from the federales. And so it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think Mr. Gutierrez, Mr. Ramos, Lulac, La Raza, the this and the that, and the him and the who, I think they're right. I think we should export their policies. And not only Mexico. A year or so ago, I read to you what the immigration requirements were for Honduras and Guatemala and Ecuador and some of the other countries from where these children are being exported into the United States. And notice, you and I are somehow responsible for these foreign countries and these parents exporting their children into our country. What are you going to do, split their families? We didn't split anything. We don't even know who they are. They split their families because they're playing the system. So is Mr. Gutierrez. He's playing it from the inside out. Who does he represent anyway? Who are his constituents anyway? Mr. Gutierrez's. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think that the humane way to go here, we're told it's the humane way to go. People pouring into Mexico from South America. Who, to quote the great Jeb Bush, pouring into Mexico clearly because they love it. They too should have amnesty, legalization, a pathway to citizenship, access to all the socialist centralized government entitlements and welfare state goodies that the Mexican government offers Mexican citizens. And I think those people should be free to take whatever they earn and send that money back, that currency back, to their own countries throughout our hemisphere. If America's not to have a border, why should Mexico? And by the way, if Mexico's not to have a border, why should any of those countries down there have borders? Just one big, happy international family. That's all. Right, Mr. Gutierrez? And they should be able to protect themselves. Those illegal aliens in Mexico should be able to protect themselves. Maybe we should send them some of our trial lawyers. That would be great. One-way ticket. No, you see, only criminals who try to come into our country, who must confess, I guess, and self-identify. Hey, I'm a felon. May I come into America? No, you're not. Get lost. Oh, only they should be rejected. Everybody else can come across the border, according to Mr. Gutierrez. Because he's a fool. He's a clown. He's a hack. He's a race baiter. But if our policies are going to be set by fools and hacks and race baiters, then let those policies be exported. So my question for Mr. Gutierrez, Mr. Ramos, Mr. Obama, and all the others. My question is this. Why are we not demanding that the Mexican government institute exactly the same policies that you are instituting here, by the way, unconstitutionally, but that doesn't bother the Mexican government? And why don't we even go further? Should we not demand that Honduras and Guatemala, should we not demand that Ecuador and all the other countries south of the border do exactly the same thing, like our new friends in the Cuban government? Oh, yes, our new friends in the Cuban government. I'm not going to continue those fights that went on before I was born, says the great Obama. No. Now, you want to talk about the Crusades and trash the Christians? That I can do. But no, the Cold War's over. I'm not going to carry that baggage. So our new friends, the Castro brothers, our new genocidal maniac friends, the Castro brothers, we should insist the same thing. No sovereignty for Cuba. They have to accept illegal. Isn't this funny? They won't allow their citizens to leave. They won't even allow them to leave legally. I just do this, ladies and gentlemen, to underscore how outrageously preposterous Mr. Gutierrez is, Mr. Ramos is, Mr. Obama is. They all are. And how destructive they are of this country. I can think of no other country, none, that would do this to itself, other than the dying, suicidal European countries. And for many of them, it's too late. But even they're starting to reverse course and push back. But not here. Oh, I have another idea. What's that? Let's import refugees from the Middle East. Wait a minute. Oh, yes. Now, look, our government is actually letting free, and we've talked about these stories before, murderers, rapists, child molesters, people of that sort who love America. So they can't even keep track of this. But I have a new idea, they say. Let's import refugees, quote unquote, from the Middle East. What could go wrong? Nothing, of course. Nothing. This country is destroying itself from within. James Madison, Federalist number 47. And I've read this to you before, the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary in the same hands, whether of one, a few, or many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. What you're witnessing is tyranny. When you hear Mr. Gutierrez, what he is promoting is tyranny. When you hear Barack Obama, what you hear is tyranny. James Madison was right.